Hello. Today we will study the topic 2, it is calorimetry. Here in this chapter or in this topic, we are going to study the specific heat water equivalent of the body, thermal capacity, the principle of calorimetry, the change in state, melting and the fusing, melting, fusion, freezing or solidification, vaporization, etc. So let's go ahead. Firstly, its principle. So when the bodies at the different temperature are brought in a contact to like the bodies we are having, and they are having a different temperatures, and when they brought them in the contact, the heat lost by the hot body is equals to the heat gained by the cold body. Whatever the heat like this hot body is losing, it will be is equals to heat gained by the cold body, or provided there is a no loss of heat to the surrounding. Heat lost is equals to heat gain. This is the principle. Now, specific heat. Specific heat is the substance. Specific heat of a substance is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of the unit mass of the substance through 1 degree Celsius or 1 K. Specific heat is the substance of the amount heat required to raise the temperature of a unit mass with respect to the unit mass of the substance through the 1 degree Celsius, or we can say 1 Kelvin. So specific heat will be equals to C is equals to Qm upon delta T, where M is the mass of the substance, Q is the heat required, and delta T is the rise in temperature. So CGS unit calorie per gram, and C inverse. SI unit will be joule per kg, and the Kelvin inverse. A specific heat of the water at 15 degrees Celsius is 1 calorie, G inverse and C inverse. Now the water equivalent of a body. Water equivalent of a body is equals to the mass of the body or mass of the water, which increases in temperature the same amount of the said body it given to the same amount of heat. Unit will be gram. So this is the water equivalent to the body. Now the thermal capacity. So the thermal capacity of the body is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius or a 1 Kelvin, and it is equals to the product of a mass of the body and the specific heat of the substance of the body. So this is the what thermal capacity means. And here CGS unit will be unit calorie per degree Celsius or K calorie Kelvin. SI unit will be joule per degree Celsius or joule per Kelvin. This is thermal capacity. Now the change of state. There are normally 3 states: solid, liquid, and the gas or vapor. A transition from one state to another is called change of state. Melting, fusion, change of the state from solid to liquid. This is called melting, or another word is fusion. When this change of state from liquid to solid, this is freezing or solidification. Vaporization, change of state from liquid to vapor. Now the condensation, change of state from vapor to liquid is condensation, and sublimation is the direct change of the state from solid to vapor, which is passing through the liquid state. And deposition is direct change of state from the vapor to solid without passing through the liquid state, and the melting point is the constant temperature at which the solid substance changes into liquid, and substance is called melting point of the substance. Melting point of substance with the pressure. And another one thing is the boiling point. Oh wait, this one is left here. Firstly, one process is there. Both the solid and the liquid state of the substance coexist. Uh, this in the thermal equilibrium, during the change of the state from solid to liquid or from liquid to solid, similarly in both the liquid and the vapor state of the substance coexist in a thermal equilibrium during the change of state from the liquid and the vapor liquid. So these diagrams are representing the 3 states and the condition from solid to liquid, from liquid to solid, or from liquid to gas, or like gas to liquid, or overall from solid to gas, and all. So here we were the boiling point, the constant temperature at which the liquid substance changes into its vapor state to is called boiling point of the substance. Boiling point changes with the pressure. Now regulation is the phenomena with the melting under the pressure and the refreezing. So latent heat. This is something important. Latent heat is is defined as the heat gained or lost by the body. Whether body is gaining or whether body is losing the heat during the change in state when it does not result any change in temperature. So this is latent heat means. So CGS unit will be calorie per gram and SI unit will be joule per kg. Now, the latent heat of fusion is defined as the amount of heat required to change a unit mass. Here, in this particular heat of fusion, it is amount of heat required to change the unit mass of solid as its melting point into the liquid without changing its temperature. So, this is the latent heat of fusion. Now, the latent heat of vaporization is defined as the amount of heat required to change the unit mass of liquid and its boiling point into the gas and the vapor without changing its temperature. So, this is the latent heat of vaporization. So, this is how it works when the state is being changes from solid to liquid or from liquid to gas or from gas to solid. Boiling point, sublimation, deposition, condensation, melting point and etc. So, from this, we have included few key formulas and the equations. So, specific heat C is equals to Q upon M delta T, where Q is equals to the amount of heat given to the body. M is the mass of the body and delta T is the temperature of the body. So, this is the equation for the specific heat. C is equals to Q by M into delta T. Principle of calorimetry is like simple. Heat lost is equals to heat gain. Water equivalent is equals to W is equals to MC, where M is the mass of the body and C is equals to specified heat of the body. Latent heat is L is equals to Q by M. L is equals to Q by M. So here where M is the mass of the body and Q is the amount of heat given to the change of state when the temperature remains constant. So these are the important key equations and the formulas. Now, with respect to these, let's move forward with one more questions. Question number 1 is 50 gram of ice at 0 degree Celsius is mixed in 50 gram of the water at 20 degrees Celsius. So, the temperature of the mixture will be 50 gram of ice is there and temperature is like simple 0 degree and it is mixed in 50 gram of water at 20 degree. So, the temperature of the mixture will be, from commonly we'll say the temperature will be 0 degree only and we just mix both the this water with the different temperatures. So, at that moment the temperature will be 0. Option B is the correct one. 80 gram of the water at 30 degrees Celsius is poured over the large block of the ice at 0 degrees Celsius. The mass of the melted ice is. So, here firstly heat loss by the water is equals to 80 multiply 1 into 30 degrees Celsius, then which is equals to 2400 Kelvin. Then M is the gram of the ice melt heat gain, which is equals to 80 meters. So, 80 meters is equals to 2400, not meter, it's 80 M is equals to 2400, then the value of mass M we get is 30 gram. This is the value of mass M. It means option number A is the correct one. Now, when the water freezes, the distance between the molecules is increases. When the distance between the molecule increases, obviously, when water is freezing and the distance between the molecule, obviously it will displace. So, it means it will increase only. Now, the relation between the calorie and the joule. So, 1 calorie is always equals to 4.18 joule. And what is the value of a specific heat of the water? So, 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. Hot bottle are used for the fermentation. Why? So, a specific heat capacity is very high. So, that's why fermentation it is used what the hot bottles is because it has a specific velocity is very high. Water is used as an effective coolant. Why? Specific heat of capacity of water is high, so that's why for cooling purpose water is using very effectively. Now let's move forward with the 2 marks question. What is mean by the 1 calorie and a 1 kilocalorie? So calorie is, it is firstly the unit of heat and defined as the amount of heat required at the pressure 1 standard atmosphere to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water 1 degree Celsius. 1 gram of temperature and the temperature is 1 gram of the water and the temperature is 1 degree. So this is the calorie. Calorie is also defined as 4.2 joules. So 1 kilocalorie will be equals to 1000 calorie. So this is the meaning of calorie, and 1 kilocalorie will always be is equals to 1000 of calorie. Now define thermal capacity of the body. Thermal capacity is the of a body is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius, or the one whatever the heat is requiring for raising the temperature of 1 degree Celsius. Then this particular condition is the thermal capacity. It is equals to the product of mass of the body M and the specific heat of the substance of the body. So this is the thermal capacity. What is the mean by the water equivalent of calorimeter? Water equivalent of calorimeter. So water equivalent is equals to the mass of water which would increase in the temperature by the same amount said calorimeter if the given same amount of heat. This is the water equivalent of calorimeter. Define a specific heat of the substance. So specific heat of the substance is the amount of heat. A specific heat of the substance is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of substance to 1 degree Celsius or a 1 Kelvin. So specific heat C will be equals to Q by M delta T, where M is mass of the body and Q is the amount of heat required and delta T is the rise of temperature. So this is the specific heat of any substance C, which is equals to Q by M delta T. What do you mean by the latent heat of the fusion and the latent heat of vaporization? So the latent heat of fusion is defined as the energy or a heat absorbed by a unit mass of a substance during the change in its physical state from solid to liquid and its melting point without any change in its temperature. So this is the latent heat of fusion, and latent heat of vaporization is defined as the energy heat absorbed by the substance during the change in any physical state from liquid to vapor. This is for the vaporization process at its boiling point without changing in its temperature. So this is the meaning of latent heat by the fusion, and another is latent heat of vaporization. Now the latent heat of melting of ice is 80 kilocalorie watt per kg or 3.34 into 10 raised to the power 5 joule per kg. What is meant by this statement? So this statement means 1 kg of ice at 0 degree Celsius melts water at 0 degree Celsius only. Without any change in temperature, it absorbs 80 kilocalorie, or we can say 3.34 into 10 raised to the power 5 of heat kg. There is no change or variation in the temperature, but still it is getting changed or absorbed. So this is what this statement means. Now, latent heat of the vaporization of water is 539 kilocalorie, or the value is given. What is meant by this statement? So the statement means when the 1 kg of the water at 100 degrees Celsius convert into the steam at 100 degrees Celsius without any change of temperature, it absorbs, again it is without changing its temperature, it is absorbing 539 kilocalorie or 22.6 into 10 raised to the power 5 joule heat per kg. Now let's move forward with the 3 marks question. Explain why the latent heat of the vaporization is greater than the latent heat of the fusion of the substance. So, in solid, the molecules are very close together and attraction between the molecules are great. So, the molecules have almost no freedom to move in the case of liquid. The molecules are closely spaced and not closely spaced as solid. They have more freedom to move. The intermolecular forces are weaker than the solid. This is the condition for the solid. Now, for the gas, the molecules are sufficiently far apart and there is no attractive force as well. So now heating a solid and turning it into the liquid means kinetic energy of its molecule is increased and enabling them to move them further apart. But the forces of attraction still exist. Now, the heating a liquid turning into the gas, the kinetic energy of the molecules are increased to the point where the no forces of attraction between the molecules. So, the energy required completely to separate the molecules from liquid to gas is much more greater than to increase their separation. For this reason, the latent heat of the vaporization is greater to the latent heat of fusion. This is the reason for the different solid and the liquid state. Now, what do you mean by the specific heat of the substance? Give its definition and the SI unit as well. So, the specific heat is different substance respond to the different ways. Metal heats up faster and equal to the rubber heats up comparatively slower. So, the rubber is a very resistant to change in temperature while the metal is a general or not. This property of the different substance is governed by the specific heat of the substance. So, this is the specific heat. Now, the definition is like the specific heat of the substance amount energy required to raise the temperature unit mass substance 1 degree Celsius or 1 Kelvin. So, mathematically, C is equals to Q upon M into delta T. And its SI unit is joule per kg and Kelvin inverse. Now, define and explain the latent heat of fusion of substance and give its SI unit as well. So, when a piece of solid start melting and its melting point, the temperature remains fixed at its melting point until the whole amount of solid melts. This is the thing, the temperature will same until a whole amount of solid melts. So, this is because all the heat being added to the solid and absorbed increased by the intermolecular space. Since the effect of the amount of heat is not observed in the thermometer, this heat is known as latent heat of fusion. So, the latent heat of fusion is defined as the energy heat absorbed at the unit mass of substance during the change in its physical state. When it is changing in its physical state, the amount of energy or the heat absorbed at the unit mass of substance. Okay, from any state, like from solid to liquid, its melting point without any change of the temperature. This is what the latent heat of fusion means, or the definition for the latent heat of fusion. Also, the SI unit will be joule per kg. Now, let's go through with one numerical. A calorimeter contains a 75 gram of water at a 15 degrees Celsius. When the 50 gram of water of 100 degrees Celsius is poured in the calorimeter, the temperature of the mixture becomes the 25 degrees Celsius and calculate the water equivalent of the calorimeter. So, mass of the calorimeter is M, temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, heat gained is M into Cm, which means into 10 means W into 10. So, mass is given, just write all the data which is given to us, and heat loss will be 15 to Cv into 75, it means 3750 calorie. So, according to the calorimeter principle, heat lost is equals to heat gained. So, this will be 3750 10W plus 750. So, W weight is equals to, we get 300 gram, which is equals to water equivalent of the calorimeter. So, here the calorimetric principle took place and therefore that would found the value of W. Now, when a 0.15 kg of ice at a 0 degree Celsius is mixed with the 0.30 kg of water at 50 degrees Celsius in container, the resulting temperature is 6.7 degrees Celsius, and calculate the latent heat of the melting of ice. Specific heat of the water is 4.186 into 10 raised to the power 3. So, heat gained when the ice is at 0 degrees Celsius, where air is the latent heat of the melting ice, and heat gained is given, heat gained by the cold water and heat lost by the cold water. We'll calculate it. And applying the principle again, just put all the values. Here we get the value of L is equals to 3.346 into 10 raised to the power 5 joule per kg or per Kelvin. So this is the value of L. Now calculate the heat required to convert the 3 kg of ice at minus 12 degrees Celsius kept in the calorimetric steam at 100 degree at atmospheric pressure. Again, write the value of specific heat for the ice different, water different, and then latent heat of the fusion of ice, latent of the steam. Heat required will be minus 12 degrees Celsius at 0 degree. 3 into 2100 into 12, we get 0.0756 into 10 raised to the power 6. Heat required by the melt of ice, it is different. So, heat required temperature of the water form will be 3 into 4.186. This specific heat of the water into 10 raised to the power 3, and here we get the heat required to rise the temperature from 0 to 100. Now, heat required to convert at 100 degrees Celsius at steam. This will be 6.768 into 10 raised to the power 6. So, total, we sum up and we get the value of total heat required is 9.1 into 10 raised to the power 6. Now, 5 marks question. State the principle of calorimetry and how will you use the principle to determine the specific heat of the solid. So, the principle of calorimetric states when a hot body is brought in a contact of the cold body, there is no loss actually. One will lose but another will gain it. So, total there will be no loss of heat. This is what the principle of calorimetry means. Heat of loss by the hot body is equals to heat gained by the cold body. Let's consider M1 be the mass of hot, S1 be the specific heat, T1 be the initial temperature, M2 is mass of cold body, S2 be its specific heat, T2 be its temperature initial, and T is the resultant final temperature. So, fall of temperature hot body is T1 minus T, and the rise of temperature cold body is T minus T2. Heat lost by the hot body is M1, S1 is T1 minus T, and heat gained by the cold body is M2, S2 and T minus T2. So, according to the principle of calorimetry, one side the lost one, another the gained one. We put all the equation. So, this is according to the principle of calorimetry. Now, how will you use the principle to determine the specific heat of a solid? So, determination, the specific heat of the solid is firstly the calorimetry meter with the stirrer is weight. Calorimeter is half filled with the water and the weight. And the temperature of the body, temperature of water is noted with the help of thermometer. The solid is weight. The solid of the heated and certain temperature with the temperature of noted. The solid is carefully dropped in the calorimeter so that no heat lost into the environment. Calorimeter is kept insulated so that no heat is lost in the environment, and water is stirred as the final temperature noted. So, this is the determination of specific heat of solid, and the measurement is mass of calorimeter and the stirrer M1, specific heat C1, for heat of water is C2, mass of another is M2, initial temperature is T1, mass of solid is M3, solid temperature T2, specific heat is C3, and the final temperature is T. So, the calculation is like a mass of the water is M2 minus M1. So, the rise of the temperature water calorimeter will be equals to T2 minus T1. So, heat gained by the cold water is M2 minus M1 T and C2 T minus T1. So, the heat gained by the calorimeter and the stirrer will be M1 C1 T minus T1, and then heat lost by the solid would be M3 C3 T minus T2 minus T, and according to the principle of the calorimetry, again heat loss will be equals to heat gain. So, this will be M2 minus M1 C2 T minus T1 plus M1 C1 then T minus T1 and 3 into C3 then T2 minus T, as we have already made the equations for both heat loss and the heat gain. We substitute it according to the principle of calorimetry. So, from the equation all the qualities are known to be measured except C3, which can be easily evaluated. So, here it is proved with the help of calorimetric principle that how we'll use the principle to determine the specific heat of solids. So, this is all about the topic 1. Sorry, it's all about the topic 2. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the topic 3.